the most expensive technology in the world today. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel Billionaire Manifestation, where today we're going to be jumping into the world of tech and finding out just how expensive available technology gets these days. From alien-looking speakers to giant tablets larger than TVs, today's video is full of some of the world's most expensive tech products. So make sure you watch till the end, as some of these might not be what you expected. But before we get into it, as always, I'd like to ask you guys to give the video a thumbs up. It takes a lot to produce this content and I hope you enjoy. With that out the way, let's start the video. Number 8. Apple Pro Display XDR, $4,999. Starting things off with the company most people know as the world's most overpriced tech company, Apple. More specifically, we're talking about something they unraveled just a year and a half ago, and that's their signature display, the Pro Display XDR. It might not come as a shock to some of you tech-savvy viewers, but upon its release, this display was highly controversial. And the biggest reason for that was the price, clocking it in at a whopping $5,000 for the most standard version. But taking a look at the spec sheet reveals that there might be more to it than that, with an unmatched resolution of 6016 by 3384 pixels. This 32-inch screen is about as sharp as humanly possible. The XDR has an astonishing 1,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio and super wide viewing angle, over 1 billion colors presented with exceptional accuracy, and a dynamic range that transforms the professional workflow. Now, what does the SDR stand for? Well, for the sharpened eye viewers, it's awfully similar to the HDR, a new display technology that has become a bit of a buzzword, but contrast your eyes see between brightness and darkness is incredibly challenging to reproduce, and a display leading to the development of high dynamic range, or HDR. With breakthrough backlighting technology, Pro Display XDR takes brightness, contrast and color to a new level. Far beyond HDR, it is extreme dynamic range XDR, so with its color accuracy and calibration, that outclasses every single monitor or display otherwise, enough for it to be usable in actual film and game industries. The $5,000 price tag may not look as bad to customers as it once did. Number 7. Dell Precision 7750 laptop, $13,000. The general public consensus is that only Macs are overly expensive, and by comparison there are laptops that are cheaper and provide more bang for your buck. For our next tech item, the latter still holds true, but forget the notion that Windows laptops have to be cheap, as Dell's absolute top-of-the-line spec comes out to a staggering total of $13,000. So the obvious next question is, what does that get us? Well, if the 240-watt power brick, which for those of you who don't know is 3 times the capacity of a regular power brick. As to say anything, it's that this machine is a power beast, featuring an 8-core 10th generation Xeon processor from Intel that, with Dell's incredible thermal management, in turbo to a mind-numbing 5.3 GHz, a Quadro RTX 5000 graphics card with a whopping 16 gigs of memory alone. And speaking of RAM, this machine has a whole 128 gigs of that, so yeah, as far as laptops go, it doesn't get more jacked than this one. Number 6. Microsoft Surface Hub 2S, $21,999. Coming back to giant overly expensive, but still rather impressive displays. A category spoiler alert that we'll come back to again in this video, we have the Surface Hub 2S from Microsoft itself. Now, some of you will be familiar with the Surface line of products. They are generally well built, have a ton of features, and are meant to be a sort of look into the future. And none of that is truer than in the form of the Surface Hub, an 85-inch gigantic 4K touchscreen with a built-in computer and modularity support. And some of you viewers might ask yourselves, why on earth would someone need a display that large with an inbuilt touchscreen computer? Well, as it turns out, Microsoft's vision for the Hub 2S is not as a TV, or as any kind of entertainment device or personal computer, but instead as a form of workspace interaction. According to the company, in the future meetings, classes and other large planning projects will not be done on clumsy whiteboards, but instead via large interactive displays like this one. And they seem to believe in that future, judging by the price tag of $22,000. Number 5. Sony LPS A1 projector, $30,000. TVs and displays are all fun and games most of the time, but one thing that sets apart a truly immersive home theater from just a big display is the option to have a projector. And what better way to have a projector than to own the best of the best? The 4K ultra short throw projector from Sony grabbed all the headlines upon unveiling back in 2018 at CES. Now, for those of you who don't know, a short throw projector is basically one that, instead of sitting at the back of the room with every passing distracting thing casting a glaring shadow sits right next to the projecting surface. This not only fixes the issue of people passing by, but also allows the projector to be brighter and throw a larger image, something that is particularly important for a projector of this caliber, with a maximum size of 120 inches at a throw distance of 9.6 inches, a peak brightness of a whopping 2,500 lumens, and a resolution that competes with the best TVs out there. This projector is no joke. You know what else is important in a home setup? Aesthetics and sound. And this projector has all of that covered too, in the shape of a high-class furniture table with multiple levels, and all this can be seamlessly blended into any modern interior. Not to mention that the entire upper portion of the table is taken up by a 360-degree organic sound system. All in all, this projector is the definition of a complete package, as it should be for this price. Number 4. Mac Pro, $53,799. Coming back yet again to the world's most infamous luxury tech brand, we have the single most expensive Mac computer ever built in the form of the top-of-the-line Mac Pro spec out there. I can already tell that the Apple fanboys are rushing to the comment section to explain how the Mac Pro is only $6,000. I'd like to ask you guys to calm down, as we all know that the base price is much lower. However, this being a video about the most over-the-top incredible tech, we're going to take a look at the most overpowered Mac Pro that can be configured on the Apple website. So let's see what that gets us. A 28-core 4.4 GHz Turbo Xeon W processor, check. For AMD Vega Pro graphic cards, check. An eye-watering 1.4 terabytes of DDR for RAM, check. 8 terabytes of high-speed SSD storage, check. Random add-ons like wheels and Afterburner Card Magic accessories package, check. And all that amounts to the sheer incredible value of $53,799. And that, my friends, is without any display or speaker. If you go to the Apple recommended display, the one from the start of the video, the total budget of Apple's greatest setup is just shy of $60,000. Number 3. Sennheiser HD One Morpheus headphones, $59,000. Sennheiser is a name no doubt familiar to the kinds of people we call audiophiles, people who love to listen to extreme high-fidelity audio at whatever price it costs. And with Sennheiser among the foremost makers and the manufacturers of the most legendary 90 headphones, their modern equivalent to those glory days is sure to impress many. The Orpheus 81 features a state-of-the-art electrostatic design just like his predecessor, and it brings it up to date with a new signal processor, an Italian marble-clad case, and a ridiculously luxurious motorized housing that slowly reveals the knobs and valves when you turn it on. And this headphone isn't just about fancy touches, but is genuinely built to provide the best sound experience on the planet. That being said, as John Hammond said in Jurassic Park, they seem to have spared no expense, as it has a built-in case for the headphones, oxygen-free copper cabling, and fine German leather in all the right places. And then we have the actual audio sonic tech, such as built-in amps into the ear cups to avoid any noise introduced by cabling, and 8 DACs in total. For those interested, the frequency response is from 8 Hz to more than 100 kHz. And if you remember high school science, this is way more than any human ear can perceive, and instead is there to provide the feel of the sound as well as the sensation. All in all, the whole price comes in at a mind-numbing $59,000 for one of these limited editions. Number 2. B&O Biolab 90 speaker, $77,800. Back in 2016 at the CES event in Vegas, themed audio brand Bang & Olufsen revealed what looked like an alien egg or something of the sort. Turned out it was their most ambitious speaker design to date, and it came with a price tag almost more bizarre than the shapes itself at a mind-blowing $80,000. You know what else was mind-numbing? Not right, the volume with a total output of 8,200 watts. These bad boys can turn any room into a party. But that's not what makes these speakers so special. And no, it's not the dozens of speaker modules all placed at different angles, or the high frequency and high bandwidth it can play. No, the best part about these speakers is their intelligence. One of the biggest claims by B&O was that the speakers could make any place in the room the sweet spot, and that you would enjoy the sound wherever you were. The speaker accomplishes that by using special sensors that map the room and uses that data to optimize sound transmission in one place. Add to that active noise cancellation and state-of-the-art stereo performance, and do you have speakers that live up to the price tag? Number 1. Red Monstro 8K camera, $80,000. Red cameras are not an unknown name. If you're into the video recording business, and each generation they seem to come up with more and more features, and as a consequence a steeper and steeper price tag. The current state-of-the-art sensor was revealed back in 2017 and is called the Monstro VV, which replaced the previous high-end Sensor Dragon VV. For those of you who don't know, Red cameras are famous for a multitude of things, but more than any other is the sheer amount of data they can capture and the color science they use to recreate those images. The new Red sensor then is capable of producing 8K raw video, meaning it captures all video data, so it can be adjusted in real time during post-production, a standard practice in high-end filming. It can shoot 32 megapixel still images, have 17 dynamic range stops, and the highest ISO numbers of any camera in the same range. Not that there is any other camera like it, as the sensor is a whopping 40.96mm tall, allowing all the light in the world to form an image that honestly no other camera can compare. Speaking of things that are unlike any other, one of the things that makes Red unique is their modularity. Almost every part of the camera, from the sensor to the memory lenses, grips, stands, flash processor and ports, etc., are manufactured and sold separately and can be attached to make the exact camera you need for that one shot. But because of that, the $80,000 ask is actually just for the processor and sensor, and for the whole camera to be complete, you will have to dish out much more money, easily topping the golden figure of $100,000. Well guys, that was all we had for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. Let us know which one of these devices you'd like to own for yourself. With that done, it's time to wrap up, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and have fun.